Welcome to Texas. I'm just west of Texola, where I was yesterday. Just west of there is the city of Shamrock, where I've been a few times before. I'm on Route 66, and in front of me is the U Drop-In. With my new camera, I wanted to get some good night shots of the classic Route 66 attraction when the awesome green and red neon are lit up. The U Drop-In was built in 1936 and featured a full-service gas station and a diner. The edifice was built in an Art Deco style. The U Drop-In was added to the National Register of Historic Places in 1997. The build was called, quote, one of the most impressive examples of Route 66 architecture. The city of Shamrock assumed ownership of the U Drop-In in 1999, and the building underwent a full restoration in 2003. I purchased the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 in fall 2023, and one of the places I really wanted to film was the U Drop-In at night. My previous cameras didn't have as sharp a picture as this camera, and sometimes the focus had a little trouble. This camera is really doing a nice job. I'm filming in 4K, 60 frames a second, and it's pulling in enough light. The focus is fantastic, and the built-in gimbal is really great. Easily the best camera I've owned so far. So I was very excited to see the quality of footage when I got home and saw it without the YouTube compression. The building is beautiful at night if you've never been here, and even if you're not a Route 66 fan and your travels take you across Interstate 40 in the Texas Panhandle, please go see the U Drop-In. The U Drop-In has red and green neon colors, but red and green are perfect for today because it's Christmas Day.
Hey guys, it's Emily. Welcome everyone! Today is day 4 of my 7-day cross-country road trip. So today I'll be in the great state of Texas. Today I'll be visiting some of my favorites along Route 66. Then I'll drive all the way up to the northern border of Texas to see Big Tex, something I missed a few years ago. And then I'll probably overeat at the Big Texan where they have their Christmas buffet. And by the way, it's cold and it's windy. So let's see what today brings. Merry Christmas, and let's go!
Before we head out, I'm going to grab some breakfast, and I think the Texas shape is flipped on the swallow. Now we're off. This is from the GoPro, which does not do well in low light, but that's okay. The sun will be up soon, and now, let's go. We've been driving for about half an hour or so, and I'm approaching a large windmill farm. This area of the country tends to have high winds, so even though Texas is known for the large oil fields and refineries, there are also large areas of the state with a lot of these very large windmills to generate power. And today is a perfect day to use those windmills as it's going to be windy today. The cold front passed through yesterday, and today it's going to be windy and really cold. I think the expected high today will be in the low 40s, even with the clear, sunny conditions. Let's check out a map of where I'll be driving today. Texas is a very big state. Even the Panhandle area is over 200 miles wide if you stay on just I-40. Our day started in Shamrock, and I'm heading northwest toward the city of Pampa. Then I'll drive nearly 2 hours to the small town of Conlen to see an awesome roadside attraction. Then I'll have a late Christmas lunch in Amarillo and see some more Route 66 favorites in Adrian and Glen Rio. There have been some changes since I was there nearly 3 years ago. I'm at my first stop, but first I'm checking out the temperature, and it's almost 8 a.m. and it's very chilly, 26 degrees outside. It's been a while since I've seen the famous Leaning Tower of Texas, which is a popular Route 66 attraction. I don't think I've gotten this close to the water tower before. This water tower was purchased by Ralph Britton, and he moved it to this truck stop and intentionally installed it to lean at a 10-degree angle in an attempt to drive customers to his business. The truck stop closed in the mid-1980s after it was heavily damaged by an electrical fire. However, the water tower was not damaged. It was one of the most photographed Route 66 roadside attractions. Even today, many people think the water tower is about to topple over, and are wondering how the water tower continues to stand after several decades. Since today is Christmas, the city of Groom has placed a star atop this tower. The tower is just off one of the Interstate 40 exits that lead to the city of Groom. I think this is as close as you can get to the water tower, since the fencing around it is locked up. Okay, I moved to a different position and you can really notice the lean, and the leg of the left-hand side is clearly off the ground. I can also tell where the steel wiring that anchors the water tower. Zooming in on that leg, and yeah, it's a good few feet off the ground for sure. About half an hour east of Amarillo. So come check this out if you're in the area. Before I do my next stop, I wanted to get some gas at this Conoco. The store is closed, but the gas pumps are operational. Gas is $2.59 a gallon. The price is similar to the other states that I've visited on my cross-country road trip so far. I did want to get gas before heading toward the very rural areas. I certainly don't want to take any chances today, since many businesses will be closed, including some gas stations far away from the freeways, like I'm on right now. In Texas, I think all the rural two-lane roads are now 75 miles per hour, which matches the speed of on Interstate 40. I'm now in downtown Pampa. The city has a population of about 17,000 residents, which has been steadily declining since the 1960s. The Pampa School District's mascot is the Harvester. Pampa was a major part of the Texas Panhandle oil boom in the late 1920s to early 1930s. Many of the significant downtown buildings were constructed during this time, including this building, the Pampa City Hall. This edifice was completed in December 1930. Just across the street is the main fire station. It looks like the same architectural design as the City Hall. I see over there, it looks like 3 firemen are working to put out a fire underneath the Christmas tree. That's probably a message to responsibly light your tree, don't overload the lights, and turn off the lights when everyone has left the room. Down here is the Coney Island Cafe. It opened in 1933 and has some notable classic signage, including the word cafe in large letters and the Coca-Cola sign. They serve classic diner food, including Coney-style hot dogs. This is like a classic movie theater that has been closed down for a while. Upon close research, this was called the La Vista Theater and opened in 1926 as the Rex Theater and may have been closed since the 1970s. Not far away, between a river and this hotel, is this white fence, but on my side, you can see a series of musical notes. This fencing is 150 feet long, and some notes are up to 12 feet tall, and displays the notes for the Woody Guthrie song, This Land Is Your Land. This fencing was created by local welder Rusty Neef to honor both his father and Woody Guthrie, who lived in Pampa in the 1930s and 1940s. There's also a folk art center named for Woody Guthrie in downtown. However, there are no streets named after the musician. In 1995, a proposal was voted on for naming a street after Guthrie. The city leaders declined the proposal because they said, quote, they didn't want a street named after a communist. Woody Guthrie was influential in the folk music movement and was an inspiration for many musicians, including Joan Baez, Johnny Cash, Bruce Springsteen, and Bob Dylan. There is some other artwork nearby. Check out these tiled murals. This shows what life is like in this part of Texas. I see some different types of buildings, an oil rig, some grain elevators, lots of grass, and a very colorful sky. I also see this display of tiles with etchings in them. It looks like they made a design in the clay. Then they were placed into a kiln to make these tiles. Some designs look like drawings and others look like etchings, but they're all very creative. The tile sculptures were created by students in the local school system back in 1990. Wow, that's 33 years ago. Look at this granite tile representation of the Texas state flag. That's really impressive. Most impressive. Alright, let's head to the next destination. Now heading in a generally northwestern direction away from Pampa, and as you can see, the area is quickly becoming rolling hills and a whole lot of nothing. I reached the town of Borger, and here's a giant oil refining facility directly in front of me. The Panhandle area of Texas has a lot of refineries, and we are fairly close to Cushing, Oklahoma, where all those pipelines intersect. I'm guessing there's a pipeline that takes oil from Cushing and refines it into gasoline and other types of fuel. There's another refinery in the distance on the left, and there's a few windmills as well. All sorts of energy production in this part of Texas. At long last, I've reached the town of Conlen, which is where those grain elevators are, directly in front of me. A classic Texas roadside attraction is in Conlen. There's a completely stopped train on the left, but thankfully what I'm here to see is on the right, next to these abandoned buildings. It kinda looks like a muffler man. The railroad bell is going to be ringing for a very long time, and I hope no one needs to get through the gate anytime soon. Thankfully, it's Christmas Day, otherwise there would be so much traffic, especially from trucks on this thoroughfare. Anyway, this is Tex. Some people call him Big Tex. This isn't considered a muffler man, but it is 20 feet tall. He's standing in an unusual stance, almost as if he has bow legs. But there's a good reason why he's shaped like that. Big Tex was previously located at the former Cowboy Cafe restaurant in nearby Dalhart. Big Tex was positioned above its front door as he was sitting on a saddle. Being perched on the saddle explains the bow-legged stance. I'm trying to get a good look at Tex from all angles, but the sun and the road are making it difficult to get a picture of him when not at an angle. Big Tex is being held up by those metal poles attached to his backside. He does look very faded out. And also his belt buckle normally reads Tex, but you can't see that anymore. Looks like all the buildings next to Big Tex have been abandoned. Let me see if I can get a better look at him by looking straight at him. He definitely looks very faded out. His shirt looks like it's two colors now. His pants also appear to be falling apart, and he's kind of bursting in the crotch section. Maybe that's why he's called Big Tex. Oh, okay, that was a really bad joke. Big Tex was created around 1956 and moved from the restaurant to here in the early 1960s, so this big cowboy has been keeping watch on the small town of Conlen for over 60 years. And when I say small town, I mean the population is just 69 people. Okay, I spent a bit of time saying hello to Big Tex, but now I need to get back to Amarillo to grab some grub. Merry Christmas, Big Tex. It's so great to see you. Keep calling safe for me. But first, here comes another train. It's about 75 minutes from this intersection to Amarillo. Before I left home, I did some research on where to eat on Christmas Day. I found out the Big Texan Steak Ranch, the classic restaurant just off Interstate 40, is hosting a Christmas buffet from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. with a special menu, and I'm really looking forward to enjoying a great Christmas meal here. It's probably going to be busy since most restaurants are closed for Christmas, but we'll see. It turns out the Big Texan is very, very busy this afternoon. There's a line out the door. I think a lot of people have the same idea. There's a steady stream of cars coming into the parking lot, and we're lucky to find a space in the back of the restaurant. Here's Big Tex Rex. I just saw Big Tex. And now here's Big Tex Rex, the crazy dinosaur dressed up as a cowboy. This dinosaur must be a carnivore. This marker says the Big Texan Steak Ranch opened in 1960 along Route 66. However, in 1970, Interstate 40 opened, causing a large loss of business, so the owners moved the business to the interstate, and sales came roaring back. The dinosaur was an homage to a Route 66 roadside attraction that featured giant dinosaur statues. That might be the Holbrook, Arizona dinosaur statues. It's about 10 to 15 minutes waiting in this line. There are so many people here this afternoon. Maybe Soltar can grant me a wish or something to get through this massive line as quickly as possible. The Big Texan has a famous contest. Eat a 72-ounce steak, a salad, a baked potato, and 3 shrimp in an hour, and your meal is free, and you get a sweet groovy t-shirt. I think the record is 4 minutes. I have no idea how that's possible. Here's a list of recent winners. It looks like over 10,000 people have eaten the 72-ounce steak in an hour. Look at this comment. That guy says, "I need air." Look at this great selection of fudge, slices of cake, and they also sell whole cakes. I never had dessert here before, but it looks good. It's only been about a 30-minute wait, so that wasn't bad at all, especially on Christmas Day. I thought I'd be waiting at least an hour.
The clouds to fly in. Mariah makes the mountains sound like both are dying. Mariah, they call her Mariah. Before I knew Mariah's name, I heard her wailing, whining. I had a gun, and she had me, and the sun was always shining.
Inside the restaurant is very well decorated for Christmas, and they have really packed in the people. Where those 60-minute timers are is where they see you if you're trying the 72-ounce steak challenge. And there's the record holder, Molly Schuler. She is the queen of professional eating. She did it in 4 minutes and 18 seconds. One guy came in close, finishing in just under 5 minutes. Let's go check out the buffet. They have a giant salad with many different flavors of salad dressings. They also have lots of fruits and veggies as well. But for the hot items, they're serving what you'd expect for a Christmas meal: sweet potatoes and green beans. They also have cornbread dressing, and to the right is hot sliced turkey. The turkey looks really moist too. We're looking forward to that. They also have dinner rolls, and there is a carving station on both sides with ham, Cajun turkey breast, and prime rib. They have all you can eat prime rib. Check out this protein plate with a nice slice of prime rib and some carved turkey. I'm not too much of a red meat eater, so I stuck with the turkey, a salad, green beans, and some cornbread dressing. Mama found some mashed potatoes to go with her meal, but she also got some prime rib. Everything was so delicious. The price for this buffet is just $29.99 a person, and the drink I think was $3. That's a tremendous deal, $30 for all that food. Somebody not named Emily or Mama got another big slice of that prime rib with like half an ounce of sweet potatoes. I mean, come on! And as much as we've all eaten on this Christmas afternoon, there's always room for pie. Included in the price of the Christmas buffet is your choice of a slice of pumpkin or pecan pie. I am so stuffed. The buffet was so good. Definitely worth the $30 price. It was a good call to eat here for a Christmas meal on the road. I don't normally eat a lot of meat, but this was one of those when in Rome moments. You gotta eat some steak when you're here. It's not easy to drive on a very full stomach, but we'll try. We only have a couple more places to see until we reach the New Mexico state line. Normally when we pass this part of Texas, west of Amarillo, we stop by Cadillac Ranch to spray paint the cars, which are half buried in the ground. However, because of all the rain yesterday, most of the cars are in a large puddle of water, so there's no point. You can get to the cars because of the water. So I'm going to proceed to Adrian, where I've been before. The town is the halfway point on Route 66 between Los Angeles and Chicago. I heard there must have been some changes since the last time I was there, and it would also be nice to get a picture in front of the Route 66 Midpoint sign while I'm there. At the Versailles Midpoint is a Midpoint Cafe. They have a diner type restaurant and a small gift shop inside. I heard that the pies are really good. There's a wide line that goes across Route 66, and on the other side is the Route 66 Midpoint sign. A great place where anyone can get a fun pic. The Midpoint Cafe is designated a Route 66 roadside attraction. The white line that goes across Route 66 has the word Midpoint on it. There are 1,139 miles to either Los Angeles or Chicago. There's a buzzing sound coming from a drone flying right here, way above our heads. There's no one here, I'm not sure who's flying this. So I guess someone is taking some video of us walking across the street along the Midpoint Stripe. It could also be police surveillance being operated from a different location. The drone has been completely stationary in the sky in all three axes. Anyway, I'm gonna get some pictures from the Midpoint sign. I haven't driven on all of Route 66 yet. I've not seen most of the New Mexico stretch, except for Tucumcari. And I also haven't been on Route 66 through the California desert. But the rest I saw during 2 trips. The first in June 2020, right after the hard lockdowns were lifted, and again in September 2020, a few weeks after commercial flights resumed after the situation. I've been to small segments of the Mother Road since then, so I can check out any changes since my previous visits. This is a very colorful 1950s model Ford Fairlane, and if it looks like a character from the animated movie Cars, it should. This very car is the inspiration for the character Flo, and her diner was inspired by the Midpoint Cafe. One of the first changes I see is this truck. The color of the patriotic number 66 appears to be the same, but if I remember correctly, there was an old man made of fabric that drove this car. The Soul gas station has been renovated once again, and it's now called the Dreammaker Station. The last time I was here, this was a different business and had a red truck that I signed my name and my friends' names on. The truck is gone, however. I'm sure there'll be many more changes along the Mother Road over the next couple of years. Route 66 will turn 100 years old in the year 2026, and there will be big celebration across all the states where Route 66 runs through. For today, there's just one more stop, and also on old Route 66, so let's continue west. And the last stop is at exit 0, going to Glen Rio. The last time I was here, I went in depth on all the old buildings in this almost ghost town that straddles the Texas-New Mexico border. I read that they're starting to clean up this town and make it a destination. The first thing I see is that the road has been paved as a defined 4-lane road. In early 2022, business partners Gabby Tushak and Eric Smain bought out much of this old ghost town with plans to revitalize the old buildings, open up an RV park, and provide what they call a quote, off the grid experience. On the right are some of these old buildings, and much of the brush has been cleared out, and the old Sailing Cafe no longer has a roof. They're really doing some work here, but take a look on the right. This is a brand new business that I think opened recently. This is the Glen Rio Smoke Shop. I'm just inside the New Mexico border, which probably has looser regulations on the sale of smokable items, and selling souvenirs, t-shirts, and other trinkets for this new business. The dispensary is built to resemble an Art Deco building from the 1930s and 1940s. There also appears to be a spacious seating area for people to enjoy their smokable products out in the open. Based on that, Glen Rio isn't somewhere I'll visit again, at least not on the New Mexico side. And I want to make that clear, I only speak for myself. I was hoping for this area to be revitalized to its former glory, but I'm sure others will disagree and welcome this type of business. This is the State Line Bar and Restaurant, and behind it is the old Texas Longhorn Motel. Both structures have had their roofs removed, and according to news articles I've read, the owners of the land plan to rebuild those businesses, as well as build an RV park and a small convention center to host events. It appears Glen Rio will have a future, but a little different from the Route 66 nostalgia we've read about. In fact, a lot of Route 66 enthusiasts were disappointed, but if they do follow through on the restoration of the old bar and the motel on the Texas side of Glen Rio, I'm sure that Route 66 enthusiasts will be okay, at least on the Texas side. So we'll see how it goes. It does appear that there's video surveillance in this area, because while I was here, a couple of people arrived when I finished filming the smoke shop, and they looked at me while I filmed the old bar and the motel on the Texas side. They didn't approach me, but I think it was best to make my exit. What do you think? Do you like the changes to Glen Rio? I read that Tucumcari has also recently gone through similar change. That city has 12 dispensaries, but plenty of Route 66 travelers still visit there. And with this, day 4 of my cross-country road trip is complete. Just 3 more days until I reach my final destination in San Diego.
There's 3 more days across 3 more states, but you'll see that next time. Thanks for watching. Bye!